If Allah helps you, none can overcome you, but if He forsakes you, who is there that can help you after Him? So in Allah let the believers put their trust. Surah Ali Imran 3:160. Chosen one, do you feel it? That shift in the air, that stirring in your soul, it's the sign that your season of waiting is ending and your season of good news is here. What Allah has written for you is about to unfold, and while it brings joy and relief to your heart, it strikes terror into the hearts of those who once laughed at you, betrayed you, and plotted against you. They sense what's coming before you even see it yourself. They know the game is over, because no scheme, no envy, no deception can stand when Allah Himself declares your rise. This is not just your breakthrough, it is their downfall. And today we will uncover 7 powerful lessons on why your good news is shaking their world to its core. Chosen one, when Allah decides to elevate you, nothing in this world can dim the light He places upon your destiny. It is a light that exposes every shadow, every lie, every hidden plot that your enemies once thought would remain unseen. Those who tried to bury you under layers of deceit, mockery, and slander are now the ones suffocating in the very brightness of your rise. This is why your good news terrifies them, not because of the wealth, the success, or the recognition you are about to receive, but because your elevation unmasks them. They spent years hiding behind false images, pretending to be righteous, powerful, or in control, but your breakthrough shines like a torch that strips away their disguises. It reveals that while they plotted in the dark, you were growing under the light of Allah's mercy. And now, every blessing that comes to you serves as evidence to the world that Allah was with you when no one else was, that He carried you through trials they thought would destroy you. Your destiny is not just about your success. It is a mirror that reflects the hypocrisy, envy, and corruption of those who tried to break you. This is why they cannot celebrate your good news. Instead, they fear it, because it proves that truth will always outshine falsehood, and that Allah Himself raises the one who puts their trust in Him. Chosen one, you must never forget this powerful truth. No matter how many nights they stayed awake plotting against you, no matter how many whispers they spread, no matter how carefully they tried to weave their traps, everything they planned was already dead the very moment Allah willed your rise. Allah tells us in the Qur'an, they plot and plan, but Allah is the best of planners. Surah Al-Anfal 8:30. This means their strategies, their schemes, and their secret meetings were doomed before they even began, because the destiny Allah wrote for you was written long before they were even born. They thought they had power over your path, but they forgot that the pen of Qadr has already dried. Your success terrifies them not because you are strong in your own self, but because your rise proves that Allah's will cannot be blocked by any creation. Every humiliation you faced, every betrayal you endured, every lie they spread, Allah was simply allowing them to exhaust themselves, to reveal their true intentions, and to think they were winning, while in reality they were digging their own downfall. Chosen one, understand this. Your breakthrough is not just about blessings coming your way, it is divine justice. When Allah lifts you, He shows the world that their so-called power was nothing but a fragile illusion. And this is why your good news feels like death to them. It crushes their pride, it exposes their weakness, it destroys their illusion of control. Imagine the fear in their hearts when they see that despite everything they tried, despite the doors they shut, despite the traps they set, you still rose. Not only did you rise, but you rose higher than they ever imagined possible. That is Allah's power. He wanted to show them and show you that no human being can block what He decrees. This is why you must walk forward with courage, because their game is over, their plans are broken, and their power has vanished the moment Allah said, "Be," and it is. Chosen one, understand this. When Allah writes victory for you, it is never just about your personal success. It is about divine justice. Your rise, your breakthrough, your good news is not a private moment of happiness. It is a loud declaration from the heavens that the oppressed has been lifted and the oppressor has been disgraced. That is why your victory terrifies them, because your success does not exist in isolation. It stands as the proof of their failure. For every lie they told about you, your triumph announces the truth. For every attempt they made to humiliate you, your elevation exposes their weakness. For every trap they built, your breakthrough shows that they were only digging their own graves. And when the world witnesses your rise, it does not just see you, they see them too, exposed, cornered, and stripped of the masks they once wore. Think of the story of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. His brothers threw him into the well. They plotted to erase him, and they sold him into slavery, thinking they had destroyed his life. But what happened? Allah raised him from the depths of humiliation to the heights of power in Egypt. And when his victory came, it was not just his, it was their defeat. They had to stand before the very brother they once mocked and harmed, now humbled before his throne. Chosen one, your story carries the same divine lesson. Your victory is not just about your rise, it is Allah's way of bringing balance, of proving that His justice never sleeps. Those who laughed at your struggles will now be forced to watch your success. Those who called you weak will now tremble at your strength. And those who thought you would never heal will now choke on the reality of your resilience. Chosen one, realize this truth. Allah allows the enemy to strike, not to break you, but to build you. Every wound they caused, every door they shut, every betrayal they planned, it all became fuel for the very victory that now crushes them. Your scars became your armor, your pain became your power, and your tears watered the soil of your destiny. That is why your good news terrifies them, because it reminds them that everything they did to bury you became the very soil from which you grew stronger. Their efforts were not just wasted, they became the reason for your rise. And now, when Allah announces your victory, it is a double blow. It lifts you, while at the same time it destroys them. Your rise is their fall, your blessing is their exposure, your joy is their regret. So walk in your victory with humility, knowing it is not just about you. It is a sign from Allah that He honors the patient, He defends the oppressed, and He humiliates those who walk in arrogance. Your victory is the proof that Allah never abandons His chosen ones. And this is why they fear you now. It is game over for them, because your success is their greatest defeat. Chosen one of the heaviest burdens you have carried is the silent envy of others. You may not have always seen it, but you felt it. The cold stares, the hidden malice, the subtle resistance, the fake smiles that concealed jealousy. Their hearts burned, not because you wronged them, but simply because Allah blessed you in ways they could not understand. And yet, no matter how much envy surrounded you, no matter how much ill will they carried, not a single ounce of it had the power to stop what Allah decreed for you. Envy, no matter how fiery, cannot rewrite destiny. It may delay, it may distract, it may cause you pain, but it can never block the decree of Allah. Think of this truth deeply. Envy is a disease that consumes its own possessor. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told us that envy eats away at good deeds like fire eats away at wood. Your enemies thought their envy was power, but in reality, it was destruction. With every jealous thought they aimed at you, they were burning their own blessings, wasting their own good, and diminishing their own honor. Meanwhile, you were growing, even through your struggles, because Allah was purifying you through patience and building you through hardship. That is why your good news terrifies them now. It shows them that all their envy, all their whispers, all their attempts to block you were meaningless. They invested their energy in hatred, but Allah invested His mercy in you. And when Allah invests in someone, no force in creation can hold them back. Chosen one, you must understand, Allah did not allow you to rise in spite of their envy. He allowed you to rise through their envy. Their hatred became a stage on which your sincerity was tested. Their jealousy became the mirror that revealed your humility. Their malice became the fire that refined your soul. And when the time was right, Allah turned every arrow of envy into proof of your resilience. Your good news is a clear sign that envy cannot overturn destiny. It can harm your body, but it cannot touch your soul. It can try to block doors, but it cannot close what Allah has opened. It can cause temporary setbacks, but it can never erase what Allah has written. And now, as your breakthrough arrives, they are trembling. Why? Because it proves that the decree of Allah has been fulfilled before their very eyes. They see that their jealousy did not weaken you, it only made you stronger. They see that their envy did not erase you, it only prepared you for greater honor. And they see that their attempts to block you were only wasted energy against the will of the Creator. That is why your good news terrifies them. It forces them to confront a reality they have been denying, that Allah chooses whom He wills, and no heart filled with envy can ever stop His plan. So, chosen one, rise with confidence and gratitude. Let their envy be a reminder of your value, not a source of your fear. Their jealousy is proof that you carry a blessing worth protecting, and your breakthrough is proof that Allah's decree is untouchable. Remember this always. No amount of envy in this world can erase even a single line of what Allah has written for you. Chosen one, sometimes the blessing Allah gives you is not just a gift, it is a verdict. It is not just a beginning for you, it is an ending for them. When Allah decides to pour His mercy upon you, it comes with a ripple effect. For you, it is joy, relief, and honor. For them, it is dread, regret, and humiliation. This is why your blessing terrifies them so much. It does not merely represent your rise, it announces their downfall. They know that once Allah's favor rests upon you, their season of power, of manipulation, of deception has officially expired. They fought so hard to stop you from receiving what was yours. But now that your blessing is manifest, it proves that their grip has been broken and their game is over. Look at the story of Pharaoh and Musa, peace be upon him. Pharaoh had armies, wealth, and control. He thought he was invincible, that no one could challenge his rule. Yet when Allah blessed Musa with prophethood and miracles, that blessing alone was the beginning of Pharaoh's end. Pharaoh could no longer rest. His heart was shaken, his empire began to tremble, and his arrogance led him into destruction. The blessing of one chosen man marked the collapse of an empire. In the same way, chosen one, your blessing carries weight. It is not small, it is not ordinary. When Allah decrees your elevation, it shakes the foundations of those who stood against you. They feel it as loss, because your win is their exposure. Your breakthrough is their defeat. Your blessing is the sword that cuts through their arrogance and brings their false power to an end. Chosen one, think about this deeply. They did not just envy you, they built their sense of strength on the idea that you would remain small. Your struggles were their entertainment, your setbacks were their comfort, and your silence was their illusion of power. But the moment Allah lifted you, that entire illusion crumbled. Your blessing proves that they no longer have any control, that their words are worthless, and that their mockery has turned back against them. This is why they fear your good news so much, because it declares to the world that the time of their dominance has expired. Their season has ended, and your blessing is the announcement of it. Never forget, chosen one, Allah often delays blessings not because He has forgotten you, but because He wants your breakthrough to arrive at the exact moment when it will serve as a sign that their time is over, a sign that truth always outlives falsehood, a sign that patience outlasts arrogance. And now that your blessing has come, it is not just about your joy. It is about Allah showing the world that those who rely on schemes are always crushed, and those who rely on Him are always raised. So walk with gratitude and courage. Your blessing is not small, it is a divine signal. It is the closing chapter of their power and the opening chapter of your rise. And no matter how much they fight it, the truth is clear. Their end began the moment your blessing arrived. Chosen one, every tear you shed in secret, every prayer you whispered in the late hours of the night, every humiliation you endured while the world mocked you, none of it was forgotten by Allah. Not a single moment of your pain escaped His knowledge. People may have overlooked you, betrayed you, or dismissed you as insignificant, but Allah recorded every sigh, every bruise, every heartbreak. And now, your rise is the living proof that Allah never forgets. Your good news is not random. It is the direct response to years of silent endurance, to wounds only Allah saw, and to patience that no one else recognized. Think of Prophet Ayub, peace be upon him. He was tested with loss, illness, and isolation. Even his closest ones turned away from him, yet he never turned away from Allah. And when Allah restored his health, family, and wealth, it was not just a blessing. It was a reminder that no prayer, no patience, no sacrifice is ever forgotten. The same truth applies to you, chosen one. Your rise is not just your moment of joy, it is Allah's way of declaring to the world that He remembers His servants, especially when the world does not. That is why your success terrifies those who opposed you. Because your breakthrough proves that Allah was watching all along, that He was keeping count, and that He has now chosen to honor you in a way they cannot deny. Chosen one, you must realize this. Sometimes Allah delays His response, not because He forgets, but because He wants to reward you in a way that silences all doubts. If He gave you victory too soon, they would have dismissed it as luck. But now, after you have endured humiliation, betrayal, and loneliness, your rise carries a weight that no one can argue with. it becomes a divine statement that Allah never forgets the oppressed, that He never abandons the patient, and that He never ignores the faithful. This is why your good news terrifies them. It is undeniable proof that their cruelty, their envy, their schemes were never hidden from Allah. They thought they had silenced you, but in reality, they only exposed themselves. And now Allah is showing the world that He was always with you. Your rise is also a reminder for you, chosen one. It is Allah whispering to your heart, I saw you when no one else did. I heard you when no one else cared. I never forgot you, and I never will. This realization should humble you and strengthen your faith. Because if Allah never forgot you in your pain, He will never abandon you in your victory. And if He raised you after all that you have endured, then surely every future challenge will also be followed by a greater mercy. So walk in your rise, not with arrogance, but with gratitude. Know that your elevation is not just a personal blessing. It is a living reminder to you and to everyone who witnesses it that Allah's memory is perfect, His justice is flawless, and His mercy is endless. The people who doubted you now see that Allah never forgot you. The ones who mocked you now realize that Allah was always recording. And the world now watches as your rise becomes the undeniable proof that the Lord of the worlds never abandons His chosen ones. Chosen one, understand this truth with your whole heart. Your rise, your healing, your survival, your breakthrough. It was never because you had the most support, the strongest allies, or the greatest wealth. It was not because the world believed in you or gave you a platform. It was not even because you had the strength to endure every storm on your own number. It was only because Allah chose you. He lifted you when others tried to bury you. He gave you strength when you had none left. He opened doors that no human hand could close, and He closed doors that no enemy could ever open. Your entire story is living proof that Allah's choice is above all human judgment, that His decree stands while theirs collapses. The very people who thought you were unworthy, the ones who mocked your struggles, the ones who dismissed you as nothing, they now stand in silence, watching as Allah honors you in ways they cannot deny. And this is what terrifies them most, because your blessing is not just about you, it is a divine message that Allah chooses whom He wills, and no one can block it. Look at the history of Allah's chosen ones, and you will see the same pattern again and again. Musa, peace be upon him, as a newborn child, was left helpless in a basket floating on the Nile. By all human standards, he should not have survived. Pharaoh, the most powerful tyrant of his time, was actively killing the children of Bani Israel to prevent a prophecy from coming true. Yet Allah chose Musa not only to survive, but to be raised in Pharaoh's own palace, under his very nose, until the day came when that helpless child grew to be the prophet who would shatter Pharaoh's pride. Dawood, peace be upon him, was an unknown shepherd boy, so small and insignificant in the eyes of men that even his own family overlooked him when greatness was being considered. Yet Allah chose him to slay the mighty Goliath with nothing but a stone, and later made him a king blessed with wisdom and a kingdom of honor. And Muhammad, peace be upon him, an orphan boy in Mecca with no wealth, no tribe to defend him, and no power in society, he was chosen by Allah to be the final messenger, the seal of prophethood whose light spread across the world and whose name is still honored in every corner of the earth. Do you see the pattern, chosen one? Allah does not consult the arrogant before he raises the humble. He does not ask the permission of the envious before he bestows his mercy. He does not choose based on wealth, bloodline, or popularity. His choice is based on sincerity of the heart, patience through trials, and a strength unseen by human eyes. And when he chooses, his decree becomes unshakable. Your life is walking proof of this. You were the one people underestimated, mocked, betrayed, and counted out. You were the one they thought would never rise, the one they dismissed as unimportant. Yet today, it is you whom Allah has raised, you whom He has carried through storms, you whom He has clothed with blessings they never imagined. This is why your good news shakes them. It forces them to face the truth that they are not in control, that their envy and schemes hold no weight against the decree of Allah. Chosen one, do not forget. Your story is not just about you. It is a sign to the world. It is Allah's way of saying, look at how I honor the one you tried to humiliate. Look at how I raise the one you rejected. Look at how I protect the one you plotted against. Your rise is a mirror that exposes their arrogance, their envy, their cruelty, and their failure. They cannot explain how you survived when everything was set against you. They cannot explain how you smile when they thought they destroyed your joy. They cannot explain why, after all the traps, you stand stronger than before. But you can explain it because you know the secret. Allah chose you. And when Allah chooses, there is no debate, no reversal, no escape. But here lies the test, chosen one. Never let pride take root in your heart. Do not think your rise was because of your own brilliance, your own strength, or your own worth. Your success is not proof of your greatness. It is proof of Allah's greatness. It is a sign that He gives to whom He wills and withholds from whom He wills. It is His mercy, His justice, His power. And if He chose you despite your flaws, it means He saw something in your heart that others ignored. That is the highest honor, but also the heaviest responsibility. Because when Allah raises you, He raises you not only for yourself, but as a reminder to others of His power, His justice, and His mercy. You are not just living your story, you are carrying a divine lesson within your life, a testimony written by Allah Himself. Chosen one, your story terrifies them because it proves something they never wanted to admit, that they are powerless against Allah's decree. All their envy, all their scheming, all their judgments could not stop your rise. And now, your blessing is their warning sign. It declares that Allah's justice is real, that His mercy is unmatched, and that His choice is final. When He chooses, it is game over for your enemies. They cannot rewrite what Allah has already written. They cannot erase what He has decreed. They cannot steal what He has destined for you. Your story is the living reminder that Allah chooses whom He wills, and once He chooses, no force on earth can undo it. So walk forward with humility, with gratitude, with courage. Let your story shine as proof that Allah's plan is always greater than the schemes of men. Remember the words of the Qur'an. Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:11. You changed your heart, you endured the test, you held on to faith, and Allah changed your condition. And remember too, say, O Allah, owner of sovereignty, you give sovereignty to whom you will, and you take sovereignty away from whom you will. You honor whom you will, and you humble whom you will. In your hand is all good. Indeed, you are over all things competent. Surah Ali Imran 3:26. This is your story. This is your proof. This is your destiny. Allah chose you, and no one can take that away. Chosen one, live with that truth burning in your heart. You are chosen, not because of them, not despite them, but because Allah willed it, and His will is final. Chosen one, you have now seen it clearly. Your good news is not just your blessing, it is Allah's justice. It is proof that He was with you in the shadows, and now He is with you in the light. Your story terrifies them because it exposes their weakness and glorifies Allah's power. So, as you step into this new chapter, remember to walk with gratitude, not arrogance. Every blessing you carry is a trust, every victory is a reminder, and every rise is a testimony that Allah alone decides who is honored and who is disgraced. Never forget, your life is not just about you. It is a sign for others that Allah never abandons His chosen ones. If this message touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe to Wisdom of the Prophets for more powerful lessons rooted in faith and truth. And remember this timeless reminder, whomsoever Allah honors, none can disgrace, and whomsoever Allah disgraces, none can honor.